And I got to be honest with you, man. I actually like Bernie Sanders' voice. I don't know if anybody else has that opposition, but I love his voice. I love when he talks. When he
He
talks,
sounds
I'm at peace. Okay, I feel good about myself.
well. I mean, I don't know. People with accents tend to flock together. I guess I don't know. He's got like
What you mean?
well, you've got a southern accent. Don't pretend like you don't. You got a little yeehaw in your fucking get up.
Welcome back to the It's Debatable show with Lucy and Dave. In today's news, Bernie Sanders jumps out of the Democratic race, and now we have a new Democratic primary, Joe Biden. Lucy,
Oh,
what do you think
fucking
about that?
goody, dude.
What do you think about that, man?
I don't know, man. I personally I don't know. Personally, I think Bernie would have been the far better choice for the Democrats. I think people were more behind Bernie Sanders than they are Joe Biden, and I think that's for a number of reasons. But
What's the
probably,
main reason you think?
well, probably his consistency. If you had to ask me, I think Bernie Sanders has been a hell of a lot more consistent than Joe Biden ever has. Bernie has, from day one, kind of stepped into the limelight of politics and been like, "Hey, I'm Bernie Sanders, right? I'm Bernie Sanders. I'm a democratic socialist. I got stuff over here. I got stuff over here." He's always like moving his hands like a fucking crazy person. But yeah, I think he was just more consistent with his beliefs and what he wanted and what he represented himself as. So he was always like, from the get-go, he was just straight up democratic socialism. And Biden,
No shame.
yeah, Biden definitely hasn't. Biden has been like all over the fucking place.
Yeah, he's not really consistent with things that he's for or against. And I got to be honest with you, man. I actually like Bernie Sanders' voice. I don't know if anybody else has that opposition, but I love his voice. I love when he talks. When he talks,
sounds
I'm at peace. Okay, I feel good about myself.
well. I mean, I don't know. People with accents tend to flock together. I guess I don't know. He's got like
What you mean?
well, you've got a southern accent. Don't pretend like you don't. You got a little yeehaw in your fucking get up.
I've never said that. All right, that's the stupidest thing. The only people that say that shit are people like Joe Exotic. Okay, let's move on. So, all right. So, you were saying that Joe Biden isn't very consistent. You want to touch on like why he's not really inconsistent or consistent?
Well, I don't know, man. I think he's a fucking chameleon. I mean, you run into people like that every single day. People that kind of change their thoughts or change how they act and how they address other people based off of who's in the fucking room with them. You know?
Right.
I don't know, man. He flip-flops a lot. Like, somebody will
Yeah.
catch him in something and he tries to apologize, or he gets like super pissy. Like that steel worker that asked him about his plan to go after AR-15s, and Biden basically told him to shut up. He's like, "I don't work for you." He's like, "You want to meet me out in the parking lot? We'll go toe to toe." Like, I don't know, man. He's a fucking elementary school bully, but he's like 90 years old.
Dude, to me, I just remember there was a like a kind of like a Twitter battle between him and a member of the LGBTQ, and basically he went against, I guess I don't know if it was gay rights or if it was equal opportunity. I can't remember which one it was, but basically he went against their beliefs. One of their members, I think one of the main members of that community, spoke out and was like, "Hey, we don't like you because of this reason." And he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry. I actually approve of that." I'm like, "Dude, that's not what you said. Like, you went against
Yeah.
what you said. How are we supposed to believe what you say if you're not gonna stick to your guns?"
Yeah. Well, I think everybody does that a little bit, you know, like people get caught up in the moment or whatever. But and apologizing for saying something isn't wrong. You know, like if you say something and you're obviously out of turn and you're just I don't know, you were just being a fucking dick or something, like there's no shame in apologizing for it and owning that statement. But I don't know, man. He just like that's one of the big problems that I have with a lot of the Democrat Party is they just flip flop on so many things. You know, like in the '90s, if you go back, you listen to some of the speeches that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and members of the Democrat Party gave on border security and stuff. It's very, very reminiscent of what we hear Trump saying about closing the border, getting rid of illegals, and the way they talk about illegals and the way they talk about like perpetual offenders is the exact same way that Trump talks about it now. But now it's racist, it's xenophobic or whatever for people to say that they want to close borders, you know? But it's weird because I don't know, man. How are you going to get fucking pissy at somebody for doing the exact same thing that you did? That's hypocritical.
Yeah, so I have a theory on that, and my theory on that, well, it's not even really a theory, it's just an opinion, but basically, for me, it's like when Trump announced the whole border security thing, it was due to the time period that he said it. Back in the 90s, it was more of like, that was kind of like the norm, kind of like how it was back in the 50s and 60s. If you said the N-word, nobody really batted an eye, but now you do it, and now it's, it's considered hate speech, which, absolutely. But I mean,
for
that's why I
reasons.
think that's why I think it's like the definition of hate speech. Okay, but anyway, like that's what I'm saying. Like, if I think the reason why they said it back then was because it was just the norm. I think it was a bigger problem back then than it is today. But that's why I think Trump got slammed for it, because now it's like, maybe we shouldn't treat them as illegal aliens. Maybe we should treat them like they're people. Like, them throwing immigrants into cages is not exactly humane, if that's the word I should use. Not really humane.
That's an accurate
that's
statement.
a topic. That is a topic for another day. Now, you said, I agree with you.
It's weird to me that like everybody is expected. Just to kind of touch on this one little thing, I think it's interesting how people are expected to follow the law, except or unless you belong to a certain group. Whether that's whether that's immigrants. Because they get, I get it. I fucking get it. Your country sucks. You're coming from some place that you don't want to be anymore, right? And I'm all for the immigration system getting completely revamped because I think it's more enticing for people to try to cross the border illegally than it is for them to sit and wait in the bureaucracy that is all the red tape for immigration. So I think it needs a severe overhaul. But at the same time, I don't think that excuses the fact that they're breaking the law.
Oh, trust me, man. Like, so my wife is Latina, and she explained to me, her family members explained to me why border control is a good thing, because they don't understand. The people that don't understand border patrol are people that haven't been to the very criminal government corruption that is in the small towns. Like, me and my wife were driving down the street. Well, me, my wife, and my in-laws and my brother-in-law, we were all in the car, and there was a guy that got pulled over, and then the police stopped him and then left. And I'm like, what was that about? And they're like, well, the guy probably pulled him over, and then the guy probably paid him like a couple hundred pesos and then bailed out. Like, that's how bad the system is there, and they don't want to bring anything close to that kind of system into our society. And then you got the cartel, the drug lords, the sex trafficking, which is way worse there than it is here.
Yeah, it's all sorts of fucking crazy there, man.
Yeah, it's super bad. But anyway, kind of getting off that, we'll talk about that another time. We ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that right now.
I knew you were gonna do that.
So I actually agree with you. Bernie Sanders is a better candidate for the Democratic Party than Joe Biden, and the reason why I say that is because he is more in touch with the people of America and not with corporate America, and that's why I side with Bernie Sanders on this one. And there's a debate whether maybe Bernie would be better than Trump. I don't know. That might be a topic for another time. But what is your reasons why you think Bernie is a better candidate than Joe Biden?
Well, I think it's because, like I said, just the consistency. Like you know what Bernie Sanders is about. Like when was the last time that you heard like a cohesive thought come out of Joe Biden's mouth that you like could honestly follow?
Boy, I have to think. Long, never.
Yeah. It hasn't happened in a long fucking time. I think last time it happened was Obama wrote a speech for him. You know, like anytime I've ever heard him open his mouth, it's incoherent ramblings of like a geriatric fuck. That dude's a fucking mess. But Bernie, he's fairly concise about what he says and about his approach on things. And it just, I don't know, like you honestly can tell what he's about. Like, you know, his thought process on things, you know, his passion. And I think it's funny that he sides with the Democratic Party because he's not like, I don't know. This kind of goes into a little bit more like governmental systems and stuff, but I'm like 90% sure that he's just a communist in disguise. I think anybody that labels himself a democratic socialist is just a communist. Like it's to me, it's basically the same fucking thing. I'm sure that there's somebody out there that knows a lot more about it and is going to tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's basically the same fucking thing.
Yeah, so that person that you're speaking of that's going to tell you that you're wrong is me. All right, so let me go ahead and explain it to you. All right, okay. Socialism is the belief that everyone just is equal and deserves everything that someone else has. Like just straight up just being everybody earns the same or gets the same or whatever, right? Communist is a government that controls its society completely. Like it
to implement socialism.
Okay, listen, we are a capitalist country with certain socialism programs, right?
Yes.
It's the
Welfare
same thing.
Welfare is a socialist program.
Except communist countries are not capitalist. They are dictators. They are that's me. I'm telling you that you're wrong.
Okay, but it's basically the same thing except it's not implemented by the government in completion, like in total.
Hard pass.
You're saying socialism. So you're saying socialism is everybody gets the same thing regardless of how hard you work.
Yep.
And communism is that belief system implemented by the government completely.
Not completely. Like I said, we are a capitalist country with certain socialism programs. I'm not saying that every program within that system is socialism. I'm just saying that some parts are like every country has a socialism program. Canada, Italy, Mexico, like everybody has a socialist program. However, like the Nazis in Germany, they were a communist country. Like their government set. Well, let's bring it to more modern times. Let's get the Nazis out. All right, fuck them, right? But the Kim Jong-un, right? Communist, straight up communist. Like he tells his people what to do and when to fucking do it.
Yeah, the government dictates everything.
Exactly.
Like,
and
what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine.
Yes, that's exactly right. Socialism is not like that. Socialism has what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. That's how that works. Now, granted,
everybody
if I'm being honest here, I think communism and maybe not. It's communism and capitalism are definitely not the same, right?
No,
because we have more in a capitalist country, we have a lot more freedoms. It's the same thing with communism, except communist countries have no freedoms, right? That's what's so great about capitalism. I am not for having a socialism country whatsoever, and that's why I was not with Obama. That's why I'm not really with the Democratic Party, because I feel like the Democratic Party is just a socialist party. Let's just call it that.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Is the Democrat Party is no longer the Democrat Party. It's the
agreed.
It's the party of socialism.
Completely agree. Yeah. So but you're wrong. Anyway, and you said at one point, before we even got on the video, we were talking about the differences between Obama and Biden, and really the answer is there is none, and that's probably why it seems like Biden is riding on the coattails of Obama. I mean, can you tell me, Matt? I want you to seriously tell me, was there a distinctive thing during the Obama campaign, or I'm sorry, the Obama administration, besides the change slogan, that was dramatic in your life in any sort of way, or your parents' life in any sort of way?
Dude, okay. I think, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, but I personally think that Obama was the worst president ever. I think that
Jesus
dude was
Christ.
such a worthless piece of fucking shit. He was the biggest waste of space that has ever stepped foot in the Oval Office. I don't care what your
Really?
thoughts are. The only thing that I noticed that changed in the United States was this fucking regurgitated rhetoric of racism. That's the only thing that I know. And how the fuck does that happen? How is the number one most racist country on the face of the planet elect a black president?
Which begs the question, who voted for him?
Everybody voted for him. He was brought in with overwhelming numbers, like ridiculously high fucking numbers. And it's in part to a large majority of people that have never voted and probably will never vote again actually getting out and voting. And I have no idea if that's because they actually listened and believed in what he was saying, which wasn't much, or if they just voted for him because of the color of his skin, which in fact would be a classification of racism. They're treating him differently because of the color of his skin. And
So you're saying pandering,
Yes.
essentially. Pandering.
Yes. The whole Obama phone thing, dude. Oh my fucking God, dude. It was like handing out cotton candy at a carnival. Of course people are going to fucking show up. You tell them that they get a free ice cream, they get a free fucking Freezy Pop, whatever. People are going to fucking show up. You tell somebody, I'm going to give you a free phone. I'm going to give you affordable healthcare, which in the end was not affordable at all. It's skyrocketed fucking per diems and all, dude. The cost, the cost of Medicare, or not Medicare, but the cost of health insurance through Obamacare was fucking retarded. And on top of that, you get fined if you don't have health insurance. Like, get fucked,
How's that
dude.
affordable?
Get fucked.
And,
Anyway, enough with the
and
fucking shit stain that is Obama.
So you think he was the worst president ever?
Dude, I don't think he did jack shit. I think his cabinet ran everything for him, and they fucked it up too. Just look at Benghazi. Thanks a lot, Hillary. Fucking twat.
Okay, I'm not going to say he's the worst president ever, because under his administration, they did get Osama bin Laden. Okay? Which is that's pretty fucking awesome, right?
Okay, that's another conversation, though, because Osama bin Laden was a CIA operative in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, my God.
I'm serious, dude. You think I'm fucking joking, man? You think I'm joking? We had the opportunity to get him during the Bush administration, or maybe it was Clinton. But they had a reporter. I'll have to read up on this, but I'm pretty sure the way it went is they had a signal from his cell phone, and they were tracking him, and somehow they had like a reporter with them or some sort of news fucking agency, and they leaked it that they were tracking his cell phone through the mountains, and they lost him because it went through the grapevine. Somebody wormed it back to him, and he shut his phone off, and they weren't able to track it anymore.
Okay.
Like, that's a whole nother conversation. But
of our loyal fans out there, I want you to understand something. You best believe that Lucy and I are going to have a video about this, and I'm going to make him, believe it or not, I'm going to make him sound more dumb than what he sounds like right now. Okay.
All right. Well, that's if you subscribe to the idea that Osama bin Laden is even dead.
Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. So before we get into that, all right. So we were talking about Obamacare and how crazy it was. Now, what people sometimes don't understand is that Biden is trying to bring back Obamacare, and I'm assuming he's going to call it Biden Care.
There's no other
Whatever.
logical name for it. It would have to be Biden care.
But again, going into that pandering thing, they're probably going to call it Obamacare because it was under Obama's administration.
Obama V2.
Yeah, 2.0, something like that.
Obamacare 2.0.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. All right. So anyway, this is why I kind of side. This is why I side with Bernie, right? His universal health care plan, to break it all down, was to cut, like what you said, insurance premiums. It's going to cut all those premiums, deductibles, and all that stuff. So maybe within a year of all your medical expenses, you probably pay $200 out of pocket, or maybe not even out of pocket. I think it's just out of taxes, right? So like whenever you go to H&R Block to do your taxes, there's going to be a portion taken out from the whatever universal health care. It's probably just going to be called Medicaid. I think that's what Bernie whole plan was. Just call it Medicaid. But basically it's going to raise the taxes, because how else are you going to pay for it? You can't just grab money out of thin air, and it's going to raise taxes, but it's going to cut it. Taken completely out are all the premiums and all the headache that comes with health insurance. Now, the only thing that I don't agree with the universal health care is how much taxes are going to be taken out, number one, and number two, those corporations, those companies that provide their workers with proper health care, what's going to happen to them? Are we going to have to start from scratch? Are we going to have to cut everything that certain seniors have worked so hard to get? Are we going to have to cut Social Security? I don't know. That's
but what happens? See, the problem that I see with that is you're selling somebody. You're just, I don't know, man. The whole idea, you're selling somebody something fantastical. Like, that money's got to come from somewhere. And I get it, like, yeah, raise taxes. But you can't, there's going to have to be a complete overhaul of the entire medical field. Like, doctors, pharmaceutical companies, everybody is going to have to be on board with this, and they're going to take a huge fucking pay cut. And they're not going to want to do it. So it's going to have to be mandatory. It's going to be forced by the government, and there's going to be sanctions put on shit, and it's going to be crazy difficult to pull this off. So right. I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with free healthcare.
Because who would,
Right? I mean, you're stupid if you're like, no, I want to pay to get seen by a doctor, So free healthcare is a perk of a type of society that you live in. And I wouldn't even necessarily call it a perk, because you're going to pay for it through your taxes. Somehow. So look at Canada. Canada has ridiculously high tax rate. Sweden has ridiculously high tax rates. All of these places that have universal health care have severely more or insanely more taxes than the United States charges their people. Which I personally... I think.
Hold on. Before you get onto another rant there, I want you to understand something. America pays more in drug, over-the-counter medication, drugs, any kind of like what is that thing called? Whenever you
prescriptions,
like when you're getting heart surgery. No, whenever you're getting heart surgery, all that equipment that you're essentially paying for. Yeah. We have the most of that spent per person in America than any other country in the world. We are the most functioning society on the planet, but yet we overcharge and overpay people from the pharmaceutical company, and they are the ones that are going to take the biggest hit, which they fucking should. Pharma is robbing.
Well, yeah, American, big pharma is a huge fucking issue, and I have no problem taking out of their fucking pockets. The problem that I have with it is regular average Joe, right? And I make $3,000 a month, and I'm paying $600 a month. I'm paying more than my fucking car payment in medical insurance, right? Mm-hmm. I don't understand, and I do not agree with the fact, and this goes for any insurance, vehicle insurance, health insurance, insurance you pay on your cell phones, whatever you have insurance on. I don't agree with having to pay copays. I think that or like deductibles. I think that is the dumbest fucking thing on the face of the planet. And if someone could explain to me why we have deductibles, go ahead and put that shit down in the comment section, because I think it's the biggest fucking
rip off,
like kick in the fucking nuts on the face of the planet. If I pay $250 every single month that I'm driving my car to have insurance for me and my wife, right?
Yep.
Why the fuck is it that when I get hit by somebody, I have to pay an additional $500 up front before the insurance company covers the rest of that? What the fuck am I paying the $250 for every month? If you're gonna
You'd be lucky to even pay
punch me in the
$500
dick
for a deductible.
Yeah, if you're gonna punch me in the dick on top of the accident, on top of the money I'm already paying you, what the fuck am I paying you for? Same thing with dental insurance and vision. Dude, it's fucking stupid. It's cheaper to just pay out of pocket for that stuff because it doesn't happen very often if you have proper hygiene.
Yeah, and honestly, if some of you guys are curious, I'm almost positive that Joe Exotic's ex-husband is actually doing free dental care right now.
Well, I've seen pictures of him with a full mouth of teeth.
Those are all fake. Come on.
Well, yeah, they're all fake. I mean, he had a Jeep grill 6 months ago before the Netflix things hit the interwebs, and he got that Netflix check.
Well, I feel like we kind of went on a tangent here, but basically, yeah, Universal has its pros and cons along with everything else. I mean, when it comes to this issue, I believe that Bernie will figure it out. Like, regardless of what it is that it's going to take, I believe that he'd figure it out without screwing over the population. That's why I believe in Bernie. But however,
see, I don't agree with you on
dream.
that. I don't agree with you on that. I think that, dude, this guy's been he's a fucking con artist at heart. I mean, just look what happened. He dropped out of the fucking blue. Like, everybody was caught off guard that he dropped out of the race. I think he had a better chance against Trump than Biden does.
I
agree. Biden's fucking brain is melting, dude. Like, actively melting. But Bernie Sanders actually had a chance at beating him.
Yeah, and the thing about Biden is, if you listen to his, like, any debate that he's been in, any kind of formal gathering that he's done and spoke at, it sounds like he is literally ran or being operated by money. Like, just, like, every sentence in his mouth has something to do with money coming out of it. Like, it doesn't really seem like he even cares about the American population. It just seems that he's just so greedy that it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, well, as long as we make the amount of money that we make, I'll just do what you guys tell me to do.
Yeah,
like,
he's a fucking puppet, dude. Somebody's pulling his fucking strings. He's a front man for something shady.
And what's up with him, like, sniffing women? Like, what's that about?
Dude. If anybody, he says that it's to add a personal touch to the interaction that he has with people. Dude, I know it sounds crazy, because it fucking is. Like I said, dude, that guy's having some issues mentally. He's having some serious fucking issues. He looks like he's made out of fucking plastic. He looks like he's animatronic. He's fucking creepy, man. I don't understand anybody that can look at him and see the stuff that he does on a daily basis, or like his interactions with people and children. Like, the women,
so creepy.
The women, I kind of like, to an extent I can understand it, but it's like every fucking woman, every fucking little girl that he comes in contact with, he's got to put his hands on her shoulder. He's got to sniff her hair. He's got to whisper something creepy in her fucking ear. Dude, I saw this video of him. What was it? It was him. He met with Hillary Clinton on the runway. She was getting off of her private jet, and she was walking towards him, and he, like, wrapped his arms around her waist, and he was, like, holding her, like, really close to him. And you could tell, like, even fucking Hillary Clinton, the snake of all snakes, is fucking pushing away from him, like, she's like, okay, Joe, that's a little fucking much, dude. Like, he was right in her face. Like, he looked like he was about to fucking kiss her, and she looked like she was about to die.
God, he's so creepy. And if you guys don't understand what we're talking about in terms of Joe Biden's brain melting, just watch these series.
I'm looking forward to this, man. You walk behind me in a debate. Come here, man. Rich Fitzgerald, the county executive, Allegheny County executive, being here, and we don't always live up to that's who we are. Go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. we can speak out and be more straightforward. Senator Joe, I mean, no, but I mean, it's not about, I know you're supporting by saying booing, but look, here's the deal. Union workers, the UAW took incredible cuts in their future. You don't have here in Miami, in Florida. You don't have it here, and that is if you keep an audience. All these breakthroughs we have with the whole, dealing with the whole, help people who have or in fact are and likely to get Alzheimer's by Wall Street bankers, CEOs, and hedge fund men.
Dude, he doesn't, like I said, you don't understand anything that comes out of his mouth. He's talking another fucking language. Like, you can't.
You know who he sounds like? He sounds like Don Vito from Viva La Bam whenever he gets really agitated.
Like that kid from the Wild Thornberries.
Oh yeah, Donnie.
Fucking wild, dude. I don't understand how anybody can logically back that dude for the presidency.
I mean, he sounds good sometimes. I mean, like sometimes he says some things that people want to hear, but like, is he really gonna come through it? I mean, let's be real. The party system is basically a bunch of people promising stuff and then not delivering. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like running for student class president in junior high. You're like, I'll put Hawaiian Punch in the drinking fountains. Well, actually, Becky, that's physically impossible for you to promise that.
I don't even know if we had one. I had no idea who the fuck it was. Probably didn't care.
Well, and then you've got, like, going back to that pandering comment that you made earlier. Biden's doing the same fucking thing. He's pandering. The lowest place that he's polling right now is with women. And so what did he do to fix that? He's like, well, if you elect me president, I'm going to put a woman as my vice president. And 99.9% chance that's going to be Hillary Clinton. I don't
think it's going to be Hillary Clinton. Okay, let's make a bet right now. If Biden becomes president, I guarantee you it's not going to be Hillary Clinton. It's actually going to be, can't remember her name. It's the woman that sided with Bernie. She fell out of the race a while ago. I think her first name is Elizabeth. I can't remember her last name.
Warren?
I bet you it's going to be, it's going to be her.
I don't know, dude. She wasn't doing too hot in the polls either, but for some reason, no matter what Hillary Clinton does,
she ends up in the race.
She ends up at the forefront of conversations, dude. People fucking love her. And that woman's having some fucking issues too. I don't know, like that's another topic, but I'm pretty sure that she's doing something. She's they're all part of something fucking sketchy, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm almost positive that Biden's going to have Hillary Clinton come in. And then something's going to happen to Biden and Hillary Clinton's going to take over as president.
Whoa, that's a pretty big prediction there. That's like almost conspiracy like.
Oh, almost. It's almost like we planned this.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, I'm almost positive that that's what's going to happen because Biden, just look at the physical toll that being the president has taken on people. Like, look at what Obama looked at day one when he swore in and when he left office. There's like a 40-year difference there. And then George W. Bush, like that dude aged like 20 years. And it takes like
Trump is just getting more orange.
Yeah, Trump just goes home and unzips his skin and irons it out, makes sure he looks good for the next day, coiffs his hair.
Do you think he takes that off at night? Do you think just...
I think it's real. I think his hair is real. Yeah, dude, I know. It sounds crazy, but I'm almost positive that that's legit hair. Either it's legit hair or it's like the greatest fucking toupee on the face of the planet because it looks like a toupee, but it doesn't move like a toupee. It's
strong, I'll tell you that. I seen him in the wind getting off a helicopter. I mean, that toupe's strong.
Dude, everything about it is strong.
It's aerodynamic. It's an aerodynamic toupe.
I've seen videos of people tossing his hair, like asking him if it's real, and they like run their hand through his hair and it stays there. So I don't fucking know. I need to know what he's using in his fucking do though.
I mean, he was actually in the movie Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and like he had
same
brown,
he looks
slick back hair. Like he looked like a playboy back then, right? and now it's blonde and frizzled. I don't think
I think
that's real.
dude, I think he almost looks identical. Let's see, Trump.
No, his hands have gotten smaller. I mean, come on. It's just fucking weird. Anyway,
he doesn't have brown slicked back hair. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. It's still
It
blonde.
looked brown. Well, it looked brown. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
it
Maybe
was
he just
VHS.
dyed it for the movie.
It was a while ago.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was
His hair's
brown.
the same color as Macaulay Culkin's.
Is it really? In that movie,
Yeah.
it's the same color?
Yep. Almost identical.
Well, anyway.
Either way, man. Either way, I don't think that the Democrats have any chance at beating Trump because they're putting Biden in as their front runner, right? He's the guy that's going to win the presidential election for him, right? They've got the most faith in Biden for whatever fucking reason. But with the Biden brain melts that we've witnessed, that you have witnessed as our viewers, that we privied you to that information, or you were privy to that information, rather.
It's available on YouTube.
It is. Lots of it, actually. Just like Trump has, like, those compilation videos of him saying dumb shit, or, like, the most egregious things that Trump has said. Biden has the same amount of videos, if not, I think they're about the same. I think they're about equal, of him just rambling, like making incoherent garbles. But I think Trump has a lot better chance at beating Joe Biden than Joe Biden does at beating Trump.
Well, I mean, let's just look at the facts here, right? So for me, I feel like the Biden administration is going to be the exact same as the Obama administration. The only thing that I remember from the Obama administration was that we were in a recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like gas prices were through the roof. I remember in North Carolina, like in the South, where gas prices are usually pretty cheap, like gas was getting up to $4 to $5 a gallon. And obviously I was younger. I think I was in high school. Like, granted, I was young and I didn't know much about politics, but I just remember everybody being miserable. Now I just see the only people that are miserable are the extreme left that just doesn't like Trump because Trump just speaks his mind.
Yeah.
And he's not very political. Let's just be honest about that. We get
No,
it. Trump
he's a
is not
businessman.
Political. Yeah, he's a
not
dimwit.
Yeah, he's not political at all. He looks at everything as a business.
Exactly. Which to me, I think it's working. Granted, unemployment is very, very low,
Well,
right? Which is great.
now it's not. There's like 8 million fucking unemployment.
Obviously, I wasn't
unemployment
speaking in
claims.
terms of a pandemic.
COVID-19, everybody.
But unemployment is low. Wages are also kind of low. But with that being said, at least people have jobs. And
Yeah.
I mean, under the Obama administration, if I'm not mistaken, I think under the Obama administration, unemployment was at its all-time high, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty
And
sure
unemployment was through the roof, which is terrible. And yes, we get it. Trump runs everything like a business, but that's because America really is a business. It's a brand. America is a brand.
Well, I mean, the way that our economy is set up, yeah, dude, 2009 when, let's see, 2009 unemployment rate spiked to, what is that?
You're going to cut this part out?
Yeah. So unemployment was at an all-time high as Bush was leaving presidency. Bush was leaving office. So the increase happened during Bush, and then it was slowly tapering off during the Obama administration, and then there was a steep drop-off shortly after Trump came into office. And I'm sure Obama is going to take fucking credit for that. Well, I did this for 8 years. Yeah.
I didn't know Obama had an English accent. He sounds like Sean Connery a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't do an Obama.
I can't either.
Yeah, there's a 2008 to 2009 was fucking terrible. There was a recession, and it was at an all-time low in 2006, 2007, at just over 4%. And then it went up almost to 10% in 2010 and stayed there till about 2011 and then slowly tapered off. And in 2016 was at a 4.9.
Yeah, and I think now it's a little over 2% right now.
Yeah.
So
Not counting the shit that's going on right now with COVID-19, but that's kind of getting into another topic. I don't understand why people are like the left is championing for COVID-19 just so that they can rub it in Trump's face. I think
what does he have to do with anything?
He doesn't have anything to do with that. But everybody's like, "Oh, well, he fired his pandemic staff like 6 months before this all happened." Yeah, okay. Well, when was the last time that something like this happened? You know, how the fuck could he know that it was coming? He couldn't have. It's fucking stupid.
And he's not a doctor either. I mean,
well, there's a lot of stuff he's not.
That's true.
I think just like any president, they're doing the best with the shit sandwich that they get handed when they leave or when they enter office. But that's one thing that I don't really understand is, regardless, I don't understand why the left is so against Trump and like hates Trump and cheers every single fucking time that something happens that isn't the greatest. I don't get it. Like, I fucking hated Obama, but I still wanted him to be successful, because if the president is successful, that means the country's successful, which means it's better for you and me, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to like root for their demise.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Did I hate Obama? Yes, I fucking despise Obama. I still do. I think he's terrible. But I wanted him to do the best that he could in the position he was in. Do I think he did that? Maybe not. But that I'm hoping that regardless of how stupid Trump can be, that he does the best that he can in the situation that he's in. Because if he's doing good, that means our country's doing good, means that we're doing good.
Yeah, and the fact that everybody wants him to fail is the reason why he is failing at certain things. I mean, like, if you are at least supportive in a way, like, I mean, you don't have to like the guy, you don't have to love him, but like at least support him and be behind him and just understand that like he wants what's best for us. He has not once tried to demise anybody that hasn't like tried to, degrade him. Like if you degrade him, he's going to call you out and he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, and that's why I like him. That's why I don't think he's a bad president.
One of the other things that I really like about him, and granted, he was already a multimillionaire, billionaire, whatever, before he got into the office. But as far as I know, he hasn't taken a salary at all this year, or at all throughout the presidency. He's either donated it or just refused it the entire time he's been in office. And it's also interesting to see the amount of staff that they have on hand. I think Michelle Obama had like 30-something aides, and Trump and his wife have like 4. Like people that wait on him and like handle day-to-day stuff for him. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Obama has somebody holding his umbrella for him in the rain.
Yeah. He also wouldn't salute the soldiers for Air Force One. That kind of pissed me off.
Well, dude, he had his coffee in his hand, man. Like,
oh yeah,
gotta
can't
give him a
switch
break.
hands.
Can't
carry your coffee in your left hand. Watch out. Left-handed coffee will kill you.
So one thing that Trump is very popular with right now is the fact that he's possibly pardoning and looking into pardoning Joe Exotic from prison.
Well, good.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
I watched the video of them asking him. It was a reporter, and he was like, "Oh, so your son said something about possibly pardoning Joe Exotic," and Trump was like, "Who the fuck is that?" He's like, "I don't know who that is." And then the news reporter had to explain to him. He's like, "It's Joe Exotic. It's a Netflix special, The Tiger King." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll look into it."
He's watching.
He knew exactly who
now.
it was too. He was like, "That was Donald, wasn't it?" He pinpointed it too. He's like, That's that fucking kid.
Yeah, he's watching it right now. By the way,
I hope
Trump
he is,
watching
dude.
it.
I hope he is.
You think it's a good idea?
Dude, okay, so I had this conversation with my sister-in-law the other night. Joe Exotic went to prison on 3 charges. Conspiracy to commit murder, which was the big one. That's why he's serving so much time. And then two counts of animal cruelty, which were the 2 tigers that they dug up on his property that he euthanized. Yeah. So the animal cruelty portion of it, there's no doubt that he did it. He euthanized some tigers because they were sick, and according to him and the evidence that everybody uncovered, the tigers that he euthanized were sick and were already dying anyways. So he euthanized them, put them to sleep, and then buried them on his property. Okay, that just looking at it from that perspective, that Doc Antle guy should have been put away a long fucking time ago, because even in the documentary, they were talking about how he would bring in tiger cubs, and as soon as they got to the point where they were too big for him to carry them around and let people pet them, he would take them out back, kill them, and then cremate them on his property. And that's like hundreds of tigers, because he didn't have room for all of these tigers to grow up. So once they got out of that petting stage, he just got rid of them. So Doc Antle
and Joe just made extra room for him.
Yeah, he just made his place bigger. He had something like 150 fucking cats.
Yeah, crazy amounts of fucking cats.
And going back to our little piece on it, his place was way fucking nicer than Carol's. Way fucking nicer than Carol's. And then the whole conspiracy to commit murder thing that he got put away for, like, I don't know, man. It's hard to quantify intent. You know, like, did he really intend to have her killed? I don't fucking know. Did it make good TV? Yeah. Did it make it sensational? Yeah. So I think he was all like focused on being a star. I don't think he really was gonna have her killed.
But he paid
but then
that
on
guy
top of that,
$3,000.
Well, that's kind of shady on how they got that information. A lot of that was hearsay. There wasn't like pictures of him exchanging money. It's not like he transferred it through his bank. It was,
Cash.
Did Joe Exotic pay you to kill her? Yeah, he paid me to kill her. All right, Joe, come on, we're going to prison.
That wasn't the only thing. It was the fact that he was indicting himself. Is that how you say it? Like he told on himself. The other guy, I forgot his name, but yeah, he told on himself. And the transactions of his bank was $3,000, which is what he said, and that was kind of like enough to throw him in jail for.
I don't know. That whole thing was fucking shady. But my thing is, and I'm not advocating for killing people, but who watched that and was like, that Carole Baskin,
she's a nice lady.
She's a straight fucking shooter. You
she
know?
put her husband in a leash in a tiger outfit on a beach.
It was consensual, dude.
He's scared of
consensual. Oh yeah, he's fucking mortified of that woman. Are you kidding me? Ugh. I couldn't leave you in the summer. He's like fucking singing to her.
Only
like, come here. Oh my God. You're amazing.
Only wit people do that. Only wit people do that. Unless you have a beautiful
He looks like
voice.
Gonzo from the Muppets. Anybody else put that together?
I think you're solo on that one, man.
I'm gonna put a picture in. It's like his mouth is like in his fucking throat. That dude has jowls down to his nipples.
Just thinking about his nipples. All right.
Of course you would.
That's all the time that we have today. Leave us a comment in the section leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know.
Wow, what's on your mind? Talking about Mr. Baskin's nipples. Leave a comment in the sex below. Wait.
Did I say sex? I didn't mean to say that. Anyway, leave it in the section below and let us know. Do you guys think that Joe Exotic should be pardoned for his crimes? Do you think that he should stay in jail? Do you think that Joe Biden's going to beat Trump? Let us know what you guys think. And as always, guys, it's debatable. See you next time.
Peace.